Hi everyone, welcome back to the Stitches and Scribbles channel. My name is Erin and I've got a crafting podcast for you today. So this is going to be covering everything that I made last month in April, as well as some summer knitting and crochet plans because I do have a lot of things that I want to make over the summer. Let's start with finished objects. So I can't remember, as I drop it on the floor, I can't remember how much of this I showed in the last podcast episode. Could I look that up? Yes, but I'm not going to do that. But this is a little pouch that I made actually to pair with this water bottle. So I made a strap that can attach to the water bottle handle to kind of carry it over the shoulder like a purse, and then also a little bag that goes on the strap. So this is a small drawstring bag. It also has a little hook on it because the idea is that you would unclasp the strap and there's a channel on the back of the little bag that you pull the strap through and then close the strap like this. But then to prevent it from sliding around, you take the other little hook and also attach it. So that way it kind of stays in the same spot and doesn't really move around, but can still be threaded through the water bottle. This then could also kind of be worn across the chest as a little pouch. Just a lot of use to get out of it. So I'm really excited that this is done. I think I'll get a lot of wear out of it, especially over the summer. And I love that it matches my water bottle so perfectly. That part was really exciting. And the little lemon slice is actually a pocket. I'm thinking for my wireless headphones, or sometimes I use earplugs for certain events. So both of those would be good. And then the pocket is big enough for me to hold my phone and maybe even a small wallet, like for a card or cash or something while I'm out and about. So it's kind of just the perfect little system for having a small bag for a few personal items when really the important thing is staying hydrated with my water. So that's our first finished object for the month. I actually don't have a ton of finished objects just because the other thing I was working on was really time consuming. So I think it was last month I talked about that I had ordered some Lion Brand Catino yarn for the first time and really loved working with it. This is in the color Mineral, but I also used kind of a rusty orange color and a cream color for my project. And I still stand by that this is one of my favorite yarns that I've ever worked with. I already have plans for 2 other projects that I want to make using this yarn that I'll get into in a minute. I did end up not using my second skein of the Mineral Green, which is why I still have a full skein of it here, but it will be incorporated into one of those other projects later. What I made with it first is the Elfberg hat by Isolde Teague. This is another pattern in kind of her reversible adjustable gauge hat series, but this one makes a little kind of pointed gnome hat. I am making this for a friend who's having a baby fairly soon. So I picked this hat design because I figured it could kind of work as a holiday thing, but it didn't have to, especially since this is kind of a unique and creative set of parents who are having this baby. So I went with the little pointy hat because I thought it was cute. I do like that it ties under the chin for a little security. So I did one whole side in the Mineral Green, and then my other side is the striped kind of rust orange and cream color, which it is truly an orange and a cream. It's not a red, but it kind of reads as red with the stripes, which I thought could make it be kind of holiday looking, but it doesn't have to be. So I was really excited to work on that. This pattern was really easy to follow and has a huge range of sizes and a huge range of yarns and gauges that you can use, which is really nice. Loved working on this. Highly recommend the pattern. We'll probably be making it again because I think it's really cute as a baby gift. The second thing I made for the same baby gift is the Finger Paints sweater by Knit Picks. This is a toddler, or no, this is the 6-month-old size of the sweater, and in the same Lion Brand Catino yarn. I thought that the kind of mismatched stripes in this sweater pattern really fit well with the striped Elfberg hat. This is actually knit in pieces, so you start from the bottom ribbing and work up, then split for the armholes, and you are kind of working raglan decreases along the edge of the piece, and then you knit the sleeves separately and flat. So you then do some seaming at the end to both sew up the sleeve and attach it to the body, and then you finish off with a little bit of ribbing at the neck. This is adorable. I love this sweater. I love the different stripes. I love that the stripes on the body are not the same width as the stripes on the sleeve. I love how the colors turned out. I think that this is adorable. I love this. I have nothing else to say about it. I will say the seaming was a little bit annoying. There's also a lot of ends to weave in because of the multiple colors going on and multiple places where you are breaking the yarn to work the pattern, but it is well worth it. I really enjoyed working on this. I think it's super cute, and I hope it gets a lot of wear out of it. The nice thing about the Catino yarn is that it is machine wash on gentle and lay flat to dry, which gives it a little bit more washability than a 100% wool, but it's also natural fibers. So for this friend in particular who's having the baby, I know that she really values things made out of natural fibers and kind of more environmentally friendly things. So I liked that it was a balance of cotton and wool so that it's all natural but still had some ease in how to wash and care for the finished garment. So can't say enough about both the sweater pattern and the hat pattern. They're both adorable, and I'm so excited to gift it, especially because I also found this little teether to go with it. They're doing mushrooms as their nursery theme, so I thought this was cute. It's a teether, but it's also like a pop-it fidget toy, so even when baby is no longer teething, it still does kind of have a function, which I thought was kind of cool. And there's a little smiley face on the bottom, which I thought was very fun. All right, those are my finished objects. So let's talk about whips before I get into kind of my summer plans. The first kind of ongoing whip is my scrap basket. I've talked about this before. I'm basically taking all of my scraps that are not weight for acrylic and combining them, holding, I forget if it's 5 or 6 strands at once, but many strands at once to make a basket. This is actually where my leftovers from the Elfberg hat and the finger paint sweater went. And this is what it looks like so far. So we're building up the height of the basket a little bit. I have reached a point where I need another scrap to be added because I'm using all of the colors that I currently have. So this will probably sit until I get another finished item with a kind of funky fabric to it, but I like how it's looking so far. I do think that it'll hold its shape a little bit better once it's taller. Right now it kind of just flops around. And I do want to add some wooden handles to the short ends as well. It's kind of a long rectangle design, but this has been kind of a fun project to just do a few stitches on here and there. And I do think it's funny how you can't really tell when colors change. It kind of just all blends together. And I actually really like how all of these colors look together. But this will be something that kind of just stays inside of my cabinet when it's done. But I'll continue to make similar things over the years to use up kind of strange yarn scraps, because for a project like that it doesn't really matter what the composition is or what the fiber content is or even what it looks like. It's purely functional, not to fit a certain design choice, especially because it's going to go inside the cabinet so you won't see it when all the cabinet doors are closed. My second whip that I did not actually get a ton of work done on is my, oh, why am I forgetting the name of this? My ranunculus sweater. So this I started as my birthday cast on. I worked all of my mini skeins on the yoke and the kind of top of the body, and now I'm just kind of working stockinette in the round until it's the length that I want it to be. I haven't picked up this project in a while because even though it is just plain stockinette, because of the gauge that I have where it's a very thin yarn on fairly big needles. It is a little bit funky to kind of move through the rows, so it's still good TV knitting, but it's not good like travel project knitting. Like, I don't enjoy working on this in the car or when I'm out with friends. So I kind of just work on it at home when I need something to do. But I do really like how it looks. I'm going to be excited when it's done. I still haven't decided yet if I want short sleeves or long sleeves on this. I will definitely have enough of this light pink yarn to do long sleeves if I want to, because there's plenty of it. But I also think it could be really cute as a short sleeve top. So we'll just kind of have to see after I finish the body what I feel like doing. Otherwise, I will just end the sleeves with some ribbing to finish off the sweater. But it is looking really nice so far. I do like how all the colors kind of worked together. I do think that if I make the ranunculus again in the future, I will not use a variegated yarn for where the detailed stitching is, because it kind of just gets lost. But I don't think the piece looks bad overall. So that is kind of one of my whips in the background. The other background whip that I have that I didn't even bring down because I haven't worked on it in forever is my sock bag. I'm still working on a pair of socks for my father-in-law for Christmas, but his take the longest because he has bigger feet. And I also haven't had as many outings recently where a sock project was the easiest thing to take. I think because spring was very busy with Easter and people left for spring break, and there have been a lot of events to go to, but not events where I can bring a knitting project. Like, I went to a friend's wedding. I'm not going to bring my knitting to somebody's wedding, as funny as that would be. But I'm hoping that once we hit summer, I'll have more like casual get-togethers with people where I can bring projects with me. Speaking of other summer projects, this has actually been my traveling project lately that I have brought in the car with me, and actually to a baseball game, which you'll see in a later video. But this is what I've been kind of calling in my head my 4 Seasons cardigan. So this is a short-sleeved summery cardigan that is made all in one piece. I did do this in a purple and black fade yarn not too long ago, but this one I'm doing with my Door County yarn. So I have just kind of created the armholes on either side, but it's kind of an off-the-shoulder like kimono style cardigan, I think is what they used to be called. I don't know if there's a better name for them. And this yarn was dyed to represent the 4 seasons in Door County. So I worked through the spring colorway first. I just finished the summer, and this is the autumn colorway, lots of deeper tones, and the winter colorway. So from here on out, I will just be working down on the body. I won't be adding to the armholes anymore. So it should end up being a full length cardigan. It won't be cropped, but it does not have sleeves. It just kind of sits off the shoulder. But I've been really enjoying working on this project. I think the fact that the yarn is so fun is making it really fun to work on. I am excited to wear this. I called it the 4 Seasons cardigan because it is a lighter weight garment, but it's also one that's really good for layering. So I thought it would be really cute in winter over a turtleneck, especially in like a navy or a royal blue or like a deep tone. But also I could see myself wearing this over a tank top in the summer just to add a little bit of warmth on like a chilly summer evening. So that has been more frequently my go-to project lately, and it's even in my stadium bag because, as I said before, it did go to a baseball game with me, which was very fun. Let's talk about summer knitting plans. So as I said before, my hope for this summer is that it's relaxing. I get time to sit and work on projects. I ideally would like to do a lot of knitting and crocheting sitting outside. That's actually my goal for the rest of the day today after I finish filming, is to clean off our deck in the backyard so that I can use it and set up my, like, not recliner, lounge chairs and everything like that so that I can knit and crochet outside, because that just sounds delightful right now. But but I haven't been working through projects as quickly as I normally do. So you'll see for the next couple weeks, I actually did a whole bunch of like little mini tutorials of granny square motifs. And I did those because I could tell my schedule was getting really, really busy and I wanted to still have videos come out, but I couldn't do as many vlogs with huge big projects as I usually do. So we'll see if that happens again. But over the summer, I usually have more time to film kind of longer projects, just because I work in education, so I have reduced hours over the summer. I don't completely have summers off like some people do because of what my role is, but it's definitely way less than what I would normally be working. But I do have a plan to do a vlog for the Door County cardigan as well as a tutorial, because I want both of those things to come out. And I also have a couple of vlogs planned that are more manageable projects, or projects where I know I can get it done quickly over the summer because I won't have as many distractions. So with all that being said, I do have a couple projects immediately upcoming that I know I want to be kind of first on my list for the summer. The first two are for when I finish my father-in-law's socks. I have 2 pairs of socks I want to make for myself. One of them, I'll just pick up one skein of this yarn, is in this colorway. I want to make another pair of socks because if you've watched my Taylor Swift sock series, I have now made a pair of socks for every album. However, my original debut socks accidentally got felted in the wash. So I would like to remake my debut socks, and I thought that this was the perfect colorway for that. It's got the teals and the greens in it that are associated with the album, but it also has like a good like cowboy boot brown in there. So I thought that this would be perfect to recreate my debut socks. But again, those are just for me. They're not a project with any sort of urgency. And they have a textured cuff to go with the lyrics of one of the songs on the album, but then the rest is just a vanilla sock. So once I get past the cuff, it should be a pretty mindless knit. And then the other pair of socks I want to make for myself is also Taylor Swift themed. This was a skein of yarn that a friend picked out for me. It's from Fangirl Fibers, and it was themed after the Eras tour. So there are little splotches of colors for all of the Taylor Swift eras throughout the skein. And I picked this colorway from my scraps to be the cuff, heel, and toe of the socks. It's just a light pink with speckles of other colors in it. I used this for a Sophie scarf a while ago, maybe a year ago. I don't remember when I filmed that video or did that project, or if it was a video, I don't remember. But I thought that these were super cute together. And I think for this pair of socks, I would just do vanilla socks because I really want the colorway to stand out. Those are my next 2 sock projects that will kind of become my to-go projects once I finish my father-in-law's socks. The other kind of bigger vlog that I want to do over the summer, and yes, it's in a Christmas bag, is I found both a knit pattern and a crochet pattern to make Frog and Toad little stuffed animal dolls. And I've been wanting to make those for a really long time. I bought the yarn for it a long time ago, and I think this is the summer where I finally want to do it. So that will definitely not be a good traveling project because it's a very detailed design. There's little clothing pieces, there's eyes and arms and legs and all sorts of funky pieces, but I'm excited to do it. So for the yarn for that project, all of it except for the white is the Lion Brand Respun yarn, which is recycled polyester. And I got it in the color Alpine, which is this deep, deep kind of foresty green. I got Cider, which is a warm orangey brown. It is a true brown, but it's definitely a warm brown. I got the color Corn Silk, which is a beigey gold. And, oh, the label came off of that one. Where did that go? It's stuck in the bag. This one is Hazelwood, which is a cool toned light brown. Pop the label back onto that one so I don't lose it. And those were the 4 main colors for both the Frog and Toad doll and the clothes, but it also called for white, and there was no white in that yarn. So this is just Lion Brand Basic Stitch Anti-Pilling in the color white. It's just called white. So I'm excited to work on that project. And if you're wondering why it's in a Christmas bag, a couple months ago I reorganized my yarn stash and sorted things by project instead of by yarn. Basically because I wanted to separate out things that had a complete project already. So I used leftover holiday and birthday bags, or just gift bags in general, to sort everything, and then I used big sticky notes to label them on the outside so that everything was kind of kept together. But since it's a temporary storage thing, I didn't want to buy boxes or bags or things to store projects when I know that I'm going to pull it out and put it in one of my project bags, so it seemed like a good solution for now. Eventually, I'm hoping to have enough of those little scrap baskets made that those can kind of become the storage inside of my cabinets for yarn, with the ultimate goal being that I just have less yarn storage because I don't need to keep as much of a stash as I have in the past. I'd rather kind of decrease it, give my stash a little room to breathe, so that I can focus on using what I do have, and buy yarn specifically for projects instead of just having a stash accumulated. So that's kind of the overall goal, but that is why my Frog and Toad bag is a Christmas gift bag. I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you also have summer knitting and crochet plans, and if you do, drop them down below in the comments. I'd love to see what you're going to make. And if you liked what you saw today, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you can be notified of all my crafty content right here on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on another social media site, that information will be in the description box below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.